Good evening, madam. First of all, thank you and welcome to the fourth edition of Morocco Today Forum.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, first question is about your perception on the development of knowledge economy in African countries.
Yes, so I think when it comes to knowledge economy, I do believe we have made some strides. Although if you look at other countries, and I'm speaking specifically for technology, so for example, a lot of organizations are using artificial intelligence, they're using blockchain and different types of currencies, and I still think that these applications are going to be very important in Africa. Specifically, if you look at, for example, ECOWAS, they just recently announced that they want to do a single currency and an application they can use to make sure that currency is readily available is through blockchain. But yet we still don't have enough developers for that. So I do think that in regards to knowledge economy, that Africa still has a long way to go. And in order for us to move forward in that, we're going to have to do a lot of investment in education and training.
According to you, what are the priorities for African countries in order to succeed in this challenge?
Yeah. So number one, I would say, and I think the biggest priority is going to be education. And I believe it has to start from the primary level. One of the biggest challenges I see as a HR consultant is I deal with a lot of entry-level graduates. And a lot of times I notice that reading comprehension is a bit difficult. And then sometimes even just understanding basic technology is also challenging as well. So I do think that from a primary and secondary education level, we need to introduce technology a lot more earlier. We need to start teaching children a little bit more about reading comprehension, etc. So I think that that's one of the main things that we need to do. Also with training, we need to look at vocational skills. There's a lot of training, even just when we look at crafts, when we look at technology. I think we need to do a lot more building vocational institutions to help, especially because youth employment is very big. And in order to curb this youth employment, it's not going to be that everyone is not going to be an entrepreneur. We actually need to be able to train people so that they'll be readily be able to be easily employed.
So, last question is about the role of private and public players in order to develop talents and intellectual capital.
So I think in regards to public and private, they need to start working more together. I think we need to see a lot more public and private partnerships. When we look at private organizations' investment, so corporate investments, one way is creating a corporate fund that they can invest in government institutions, and then as well as government being a lot more open and readily available. So for example, I'm from Nigeria, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done as far as transparency in regards to contract bids. And so, for example, there's an organization that's training. They want to train 10 million youths, and needs to be a lot more transparency on organizations that are bidding in order to help those skill training. So I think that's one of the key challenges that we have in as far as public and private partnerships.
Okay. So maybe one last word about your participation here in the fourth edition of Morocco Today Forum.
Yes. So as an HR consultant, I think one of my main areas of that I want people to know about is obviously training. And that what's one of the things that I'm trying to do, the company I run is called Career Queen, and I want to do a lot more empowerment with women. I've seen that when organizations add women to their management level in Africa, their revenues grow by 30%. So I do want to lead with thoughts of how can we help empower women to be in management positions, in C-suite positions, so that we can empower them, but also bring more revenue to these organizations as well.